I'm doing a little bit of an interactive thing. It's a choose your own adventure story. So at certain points I'll ask the audience to raise their hands if they want to go a certain route. And for this one we're going to start out with you were walking along one day and you weren't paying attention, and all of a sudden now you're in the middle of the jungle. So that's a real pickle. Anyway, you see a sign in the shape of a left arrow that says, "Warning, flying snakes ahead." Next to it is a sign in the shape of a right arrow that says, "Warning, boring lack of flying snakes ahead." Which way do you want to go? How many people want to go left to the snakes? How many want to go right to safety? Not as many. We're going the snake route. You go deeper into the jungle where you are not surprised to find a large snake in a nest up in a tree. Determined to defend its polka-dotted eggs, it spreads its wings and starts hissing. Before you can explain yourself, it starts flying straight at you. What will you do? You can either grab it by the wings or grab it by the tail. Who wants to grab it by the wings? Who wants to grab it by the tail? Alright, we're going tail. You grab the snake by the tail and it flies upward to get away. You keep hanging on so you can prove some sort of dominance. Until you realize you're now high up in the sky. What now? You can either jump for the trees or you can keep holding on. Who wants to jump for the trees? Who wants to keep holding on? Alright, we're going to keep holding on. You keep holding on as the snake flies toward the clouds. Once at peak altitude, the snake activates its slippery glands. It's a thing only flying snakes have, you forgot about. And you fall down into a small lake in a very aggressive belly flop. Yeah. Later, you wake up in the hospital. It's the Stubby Boo Boo Hospital. That's what it's officially named. They tell you you'll need to stay here for a few more days, but your insurance isn't going to cover it. So you'll have to pay out of pocket. However, you're wearing a hospital gown, so you have no pockets. And no money. What will you do? You can either hope things work themselves out later, or make a run for it. Who wants to hope things work out?
Make a run for it.
Who wants to run?
Run.
All right, we're running. You grab a get well soon balloon to cover up your bare hospital gown buttocks, then bolt toward the elevator. You press the button and wait for about 2 minutes while a janitor stares at you, wondering what you're doing. Once you get to the elevator, you realize you were on the first floor the whole time. You then make a run for the main entrance, but a hospital bouncer is in the way of the door. Now what are you going to do? You can fight the bouncer, or you can sneak past the bouncer. Who wants to fight the bouncer? Who wants to sneak past the bouncer? All right, this is a close one. We got to do a revote. Who wants to fight the bouncer? All right, who wants to sneak past the bouncer? I think we're going to fight him. You attempt to fight the bouncer by shoving the get well soon balloon into his beard to make it frizzy. He backs away and looks annoyed. He pokes you and you're electrocuted. You wake up back in your hospital bed. And now you smell like hot dogs. What will you do now? Well, I guess you can try to repeat the whole process and not fight the bouncer. You want to skip to that? Yeah. All right, we're going to sneak past the bouncer. You attempt to sneak past the bouncer. He's distracted by a lunch menu, so you manage to make it out. In the parking lot, you find a spare set of clothes with a note marked free. They're a perfect fit. What good luck. You should ignore the doctors more often. Nice. All right, how much time do I got left so I know how long we can keep going?
You got it.
As long as you need it.
As long as I need it. All right, we're gonna head to the Hickory Docks to go fishing. All right, you rent some fishing stuff and sit out by the dock. You don't catch anything, and now you're covered in mosquito bites. What do? Do you scratch the bites, or do you not scratch them? Who wants to scratch the bites? Who wants to not scratch them? This is a close one, too. I think we're going to scratch the bites then. You scratch the mosquito bites and start bleeding. A drop of blood hits the water and attracts a nearby family reunion of sharks. One of the sharks lunges out of the water and is headed straight for your face. What will you do? You can either jump on the shark or jump over the shark. Who wants to jump on the shark? Who wants to jump over the shark? All right, we're jumping on the shark. You jump on the shark and wrestle with it for hours, making numerous attempts to punch it in the nose, like in that one cartoon you saw one time. Sometime around sunset, you manage to steer it into a sandcastle. The shark looks annoyed, and the castle constructing children have suffered permanent psychological damage. But you only have a few bruises. A group of animal rights activists show up and are upset with you. You need to leave. Let's see. All right, now you're heading toward the farmer's market. You walk by a stand with someone selling pie filled with cake. And next to them is someone selling cake filled with pie. They're both sold out, and it's a real bummer. A few footsteps farther down is a petition. The petition is to change the name of narwhals to Tunacorns. Will you sign it? Yes. How many say yes?
Hell yeah.
How many say no? All right, we're going yes. You sign the petition and notice someone nearby giving you a dirty look. The petitioner thanks you and tells you to give yourself a pat on the back. Do you pat yourself or do you not? Who wants to literally pat themselves on the back? Who wants to not do that? All right, you're going to pat yourself on the back. You give yourself a literal pat on the back as a joke. Suddenly, your arch rival, Kevin, happens to see you and mocks you to oblivion. Not only was that arrogant, but it was also lame, he says aloud. Kevin. You turn 50 shades of red and fail to play it cool. Kevin begins to list off each shade of crimson and scarlet your face changes to, then reminds you of that embarrassing thing you did when you were 12. To make matters worse, the increased blood flow to your face creates a lack of circulation to your brain, and it kills you in a matter of minutes. Looks like Kevin won this round. All right. Should we end there, or do we want a happy ending?
Happy ending.
Sure.
Let's see. We can not pat yourself on the back. Let's see.
Calls the happy ending.
Let's see. I gotta find one of the happy endings. You know what? Let's just say after you die, you end up going to heck. And heck is a place between hell and purgatory where it's not that bad, but it's still awkward and uncomfortable. It's always humid, and all there is to drink is warm soda. You have a roommate named Karen Jr. who's always complaining about how hot it is, even though it's not that bad. A small amount of mosquitoes are around during the entire year, and stores are only open during hours with even numbers. Welcome to your new life for eternity. Yeah, it's kind of a happy ending.